Then off to the right this time, I saw that figure again. It felt the same, but it looked different. It was much bigger and more focused. It was trying to look like them, but instead of a brightness, all it could achieve was a kind of muddy glow. It moved across their path and once again tried to stop them, but they didn't stop. That is, they stopped only long enough to reach down to the earth and pick up some stones and throw them at the thing, whatever it was, and once again, it just disappeared. I felt the hairs of the back of my neck rising, and I snorted and pawed the ground, and still I watched. The bright ones were coming nearer. I could see them quite clearly now. I saw that the man had his hand on the shoulder of the boy. He had a lot of hair on his face, and it was white like mine. He seemed quite old, but his step was strong and sure. The young one had to go fast to keep up with him, but he managed. They came along toward the mount and had almost reached it when, wham, there was an explosion, and there was that creature again, bright red this time and breathing smoke and fire. I could hear its voice, very smooth and oily, talking about the earth and riches and gold and other things. I didn't understand. Both humans stopped, picked up stones, and threw them at him hard. In a puff of black and purple smoke, he disappeared. For a few moments, there was a terrible smell, like the smell of old eggs which had been cracked and abandoned in the nest. Then it was gone, and the sky and earth were clear again, and the silence returned. It was broken only by the sound of trudging feet and labored breath as the two came up the mount. They were on the opposite side from me by the time they reached the top, so they didn't know I was there. Although I wanted to be with them, I knew inside I had to stay where I was and wait. How do we know these things? They took off their cloaks, and I saw the man had a long knife with him. We Rams know these knives, for they use them when they sacrifice us. The two of them stood talking together, and then they raised their hands and talked to Allah, because I heard his name over and over. Then they came close and wrapped their arms around each other. Then the old person laid the young one down on his face and uncovered his neck. The boy followed the man's directions without any hesitation, as if he knew exactly what was happening. Clearly, they were doing this together. There was a charge in the air like the feeling just before a thunderstorm. It was completely still. I scarcely breathed. The boy was still lying on the rock. The man lifted the great knife and called out in a loud voice which shattered the silence, Allahu Akbar, and his arm started downwards on the stroke, but suddenly there was a flash of light, a surge of power, a movement all around the mount, and look, there was a great light being holding the man's wrist. I was shaking all over. So were the two humans. It was truly an angel. I knew it was an angel and spoke in the language of humans. Oh, Ibrahim, you have already done what Allah wanted. The angel pointed to me. I moved forwards, for this was my moment of glory. I was to replace the boy, not the human. I was to be sacrificed and give my life to Allah. I was frightened, but I didn't care. I'd followed Allah's wishes, and then I had a deep, deep understanding. There at the rock, gazing at the marvelous angel and the two bright humans, I understood that those people had a choice. They had to decide to be there. I had been ordered, and I came. No question about it. Allah was sure of me, but the people had to come of their own free will to show they were sure of Allah. And I put my neck out, and the angel took the knife. Once again, I heard the cry, Allahu Akbar, and I was gone. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.